Howdy folks, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk, Giordano Plastering. Today I'm going to show you something about repairing cracks inside your house after you lift the house. They had a new foundation done here, and they called us and said, gee, they actually sent us photographs and said, can you fix all these cracks? And I said, sure, we could fix it. Then they said, well, can you be dust-free? How do you protect everything? And I said, well, it depends. I have to see the place. And they said, well, we have a couple Steinways pianos here, grand pianos, that we don't want to get messed up. And I'm thinking to myself, guys, I don't want to inhale the dust either. So I'll show you a way that you could repair these cracks and not leave a big mess. First of all, we don't use taping mud. If you use taping mud, you got to sand that stuff down. It fills the whole house up with sand, gypsum sand, not good. What we're going to do is, I'm going to take this vacuum cleaner here, just a regular shop vac, and I have about 6 or 7 brand new utility knives, blades. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out. This right here, brick, listen to that. That's brick. So when you lift a house with a brick fireplace or anything brick, it tends to crack a little bit because brick does not flex, guys. Listen to this. This is sheetrock, gypsum. So the same deal here. We're going to go ahead and take a brand new utility blade. That's why I have about 5, 6 of these on me. And I'm going to pull this out. If I turn this on right now, it'll drown me out. I know a lot of people say, hey, drown yourself out. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Jay's going to hold this for me, and I'm going to gouge all these cracks out. And all of the dust created by it coming out of here, because I have to open these up, are going to go harmlessly into this vacuum and not go all over the room. Because again, yeah, we got some pianos and things in here, but I don't want to inhale this either. I don't want it in my eyelashes, in my ears, or any of that. Things like this, where we have some buckling, we're just going to put the bucket under it, remove it while we hold the vacuum. Keep the dust down to a minimum. Over here where we have some stuff coming off the ceiling, that's old wood lath. I got to tell you this, you'll love this. Old wood lath, we got a phone call. Jay said, Dad, did you hear that phone call? The fella says, I took all the old wood lath off of my house. It's a 100-year-old house, and the lath is in really good condition. If you guys like, I'll sell it really inexpensive to you. And then he says, well, gee, in fact, you could have it. But guys, we can't use old wood lath. That's from the 1800s. You can't reuse that wood lath because it'd be full of dust. Instead, if we were to break that out, you could do sheetrock over it or plaster like what we're going to do. So after we get all these cleaned out, so where I look at it and I say, okay, those are gouged out right. We're going to take this plaster weld. Plaster weld's made by Larson's. You could also use Saccrete or there's a number of bonding agent that you could use. We're going to put the bonding agent. This just happens to be pink. It's for interiors. The blue Weldcrete is for exteriors. We're going to put the bonding agent inside these cracks, and yeah, sure, it's going to go outside these a little bit. But you could paint right over this, guys. It won't hurt it one bit. In fact, it's better for it. So right now, Jay and I are going to focus on getting all of this off. He'll hold this vacuum while I gouge all this stuff out of here. And once we got that, you'll see the next stage is pink. Then we're going to put plaster inside here. Again, we don't use taping mud, guys, because you have to sand that down. It creates a ton of dust. We don't like to do it. We use plasters. And when we trowel down the plaster, we're going to use water. The water will make no dust. And the last thing we want is dust. But anyway, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, somebody look at this. What do you think? I think this is about, on a 10 being horrible, 2 being perfect, I think this is about as perfect as a fella can get, because now you're lifting brick. You lift the whole house, you lift it simultaneously, evenly. Otherwise, you get much worse than this. In fact, I've seen houses where every 3 inches is just like this, the whole house. So I looked at this and I thought, wow, those guys did a fabulous job. Anyway, we're going to get to our job right now and get rid of all this so we could get moving. All right, guys, here comes the fun part. The mudding. You can have that removing of the old plaster. Dusty, it's not fun. Anyway, what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'll tell you what you can do. You guys could use tape and mud, but tape and mud takes like a day and a half to dry. You could use a compound, which is tape and mud. It's just accelerated, like 20-minute compound. I'm using a diamond plaster. Why? Because I can't tell the difference between this and a 20-minute compound. They both dry in about the same amount of time, about 20, 25 minutes. This is a lot stronger. If this gets wet, it resorts back to what it originally was. Limestone. If I use gypsum in here and that gets wet, it resorts to what it was, gypsum. So anyway, I'm going to fill this San Andreas crack right here. I mean, that's a pretty monstrous crack. But the idea, guys, whatever material you decide to use, and don't use tape or caulking, because that's the wrong material to use for this, guys. It might seem like the right material, but it's not. And they do have caulking here and there, but that's just unknowing. What you do, what I'd recommend for you guys to do is, I mean, if you got all day, sure, use some tape and mud or use an accelerated tape and mud like compounds. This plaster here, it's called diamond or imperial. You get it at the plaster and material yards. Now this, yeah, it's stronger, but do you need a lot of strength here, guys? Not really. You don't need a lot of strength. If some might say, well, what if we put a lot so that if it really, really moves, it won't crack again? Guys, if I use concrete in here, if the house or building is going to move, the concrete is not going to stop it from moving. But they had the foundation done here, 10 years ago, so it's moved all it's going to. Anyway, so what I'm doing now is just filling it in. This pink stuff, again, the pink stuff is a bonding agent, guys. That is so that this will adhere. Tape and mud adheres over painted surfaces, but this particular plaster I'm using does not adhere to painted surfaces, so we have to put a bonding agent in there. Now what I'm doing is I'm filling it up, guys. I want to match their existing finish, which has been painted about 20, 30 times, so after this starts to set, and I figure this usually sets in like 20 minutes. It doesn't matter if you go a 1/4 inch thick or if you go 2 inches thick, it's still going to set in about 20 minutes, guys. So I just happen to have this on the truck, and I'm partial to using this particular diamond. It's either diamond or imperial base coat. They're both lime plasters. Again, do you really need a lime plaster? Not really. But for the same amount of time, it's better, guys. It's stronger, better, and if it ever gets wet, it won't beat it up and turn it right back into gypsum putty. So, and it's capable of going 1 inch, 2 inch. I mean, we use this when we go over sheetrock, and when we go over sheetrock, we're putting, say, a 1/16 to an 1/8 thick, but so what? You can go a lot thicker, guys. You can go 2 or 3 inches thick. Have I gone 2 or 3 inches thick? Absolutely. But the point is, why use tape and mud when you could use a lime plaster? The only drag is you're not going to find this at Home Depot. Or Lowe's. You're going to have to go to a plastering material yard. But if you say, man, I don't want to go to a plastering material yard, go to Home Depot and buy some tape and mud, or what I was saying earlier, you can buy some gypsum that's accelerated, like 20-minute mud, fast patch. I believe it's fast patch, and all that is, again, guys, is gypsum mud with accelerators in it. So I'm going to finish what I started here. And once this starts to set, guys, say like right inside that crack. I can brush that right in, and it'll brush just fine, fine and dandy. Yeah, we've been, 25 was kind of a slow year for us. What I do in all 25, well, I painted my house. I actually even painted my neighbor's. He's 75 years old, and I didn't have nothing better to do. But I'd rather be doing this than painting. And you can see, again, too, guys, all the stuff they had here. They had a lot of stuff. From stucco here with wire to stucco there with wire, stucco here, wire, plaster, all kinds of things. Doesn't matter what you got. The idea is to just cover it up. Yeah, I've been so slow that, guess what? I actually joined a gym. I joined a gym because of my buddy No Neck. You'd probably say, who's No Neck? He's a friend of mine. He came to my house about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And he says, how's it going, Kirk? And he was walking like this, limping. I said, what's the matter, man? He says, oh, I hurt myself. I said, you hurt yourself? How? And he says, I only put like 6 buckets of rock in a wheelbarrow, and then I was moving them around this lady's house for decorative reasons, and I tore something in my groin. A good thing you don't have much down there. But moving on, I said, dude, you got to use it or lose it. And since I told him that, I was thinking the same thing myself. So I thought, man, too bad there's not a gym around that I could join so that if I'm not working as much as I used to, I could use it, not lose it. Of course, my niece, Lena, was there. She said, Uncle Kirk, why not go to Crunches? I said, I don't even know what Crunches is. And she says, it's a gym right by, it's at South Shore, right by Chase Bank. And I thought, I don't know of any gym over there, and I go to Chase Bank all the time. And I said, you're not talking about that woman's gym, are you? She says, Uncle Kirk, that gym has been changed 10 years ago. I thought, man, I would make a horrible detective because I didn't know it was a gym still, but now it's for guys or girls or whoever, co-ed. I tell you, I went by there a week ago, and I was eyeballing it, and I thought, man, I don't feel right going to a gym. I haven't been to a gym in like 25 years. But I did think, use it or lose it. You don't want to end up like, oh, No Neck. And I call it No Neck because he got no neck. Just like Mr. Potato Head, arms coming out of a body. Anyway, I hate to see myself, I'm talking crap about him, I hate to see myself go through that same thing because all of 24, we worked like every single day. But 25 was kind of slow. Maybe tariffs? I don't know. I'm going to experiment with the tariffs today and tell the guys, hey, here's the bill. He's going to say, dude, it's like $200 or $300 more than you said. That's tariffs, brother. See if he'll go for it. Yeah, right. These guys are in the back thinking, man, you do that stuff, I'm going to fill my shotgun full of buckshot. I have to tell Lou, stand in front of me, take one for the team, brother. Don't let him shoot me. But anyway, moving on to this so-called gym I joined. Man, this place, I usually take my kids on cruises. Like, for the last 20 years, I always take my kids on cruises. We all work hard, so we go on a cruise. And one of the reasons I go on cruises is because they got the coolest gyms on a cruise. You can get in good shape, and it's way cool. But when I went into don't try this at home, guys. When I went into Crunches, I thought, my God, look at this gym. They had everything. They had so much stuff there. I thought, wow, that's, you put every cruise I've ever been on together, every one of them, Carnival, Princess, Royal, You put them all together and you still don't have half the equipment that you have at this place. And plus with me, I got this herniated disc down here. That's why I wear this back brace. People say, why you wear a back brace? Because I got a herniated disc and it bugs me for the last 30 years. Anyway, over at Crunches, they got machines that isolate everything, so I can't even get hurt there. One more little tip up here. So I'm glad my buddy, No Neck, came over and was complaining about his groin issue, because I thought, man, I need to do that too. But hopefully this year, we're going to be working a heck of a lot more. In fact, we already have quite a bunch of jobs lined up. I got more lined up this year than I did last year. 2026, guys, in case you're wondering. Anyway, we got a lot of rain this year. We got some outside stuff coming up. But now, let me get back to what I'm doing. I'm getting carried away. All right. This mud here, say within 15, 20, 25 minutes, it's going to start getting hard. When it does, either I got to put water on it and steel trowel it, otherwise it'll get away. It'll look just like that. Can't have that. So you got to know how to use this stuff, guys, because it's a little bit more difficult than taping mud. You don't have the luxury of taping mud. You got and you could use taping mud and leave it set for like 5 hours, but then you have to sand it. We don't want to do any sanding, guys. Anyhow, I'm going to finish these holes here. Then I'm going to show you something outside for just a second, because this is going to take me another 2 or 3 minutes. Then we'll go outside. All right, guys, figure I'll show you this part 2. Now, you take normal water. This is just a water bucket. Because this is diamond plaster or lime plaster, when it dries, it resorts back to lime. And so before it dries, you hit it with water, and you could bring it kind of back to life at least once. You see, I'm going to use the edge of the trowel now. I'm bringing that back to life, meaning, you see that? That's the fat. I like diamond because it has more fat than, say, imperial plaster, but that's another story. Okay, with this fat right here, you can go over anything like this, and you don't use any no sanding, guys. But say, for example, guys, you use taping mud, and you say, man, I don't want to sand it. Here's a tip, a trick. You take a shirt, or not a shirt like this, a white shirt. You take a bathroom towel, cloth towel, wet it, and you could wipe it all down and get all the lines out. You don't have to sand it. That only works with a bathroom type of towel. This kind of shirt will not work. So that you can get away from sanding. What we're doing is we don't sand because this is a lime plaster. When lime plaster hardens, what does it become? It becomes limestone. When gypsum hardens, what does that become? That becomes gypsum again, the same thing sheetrock is. So when you hit it with water, you bring it right back to what it originally was, gypsum. Okay, I want to show you one last thing, guys, this part. And here it is. You see, this is about 5 minutes, 10 minutes old. Oh, you see that, guys? That's what I'm talking about. And that's like 20-minute mud. So you got about 20 minutes. I want to show you something real quick. You see right here, guys, where this, there was a little damage there. I had told the homeowner, I said, well, that's easy to fix, and I'll tell you how. Don't mind us, man. I just want to show something right here. Now, you see what? This is what caused that, but that's not a big deal, guys. When you paint your house, just put a little bit extra caulking in any cracks. No matter where on the house you have cracks, I don't care where it is. Could be the southwest, any side. Add a little bit of caulking. This particular caulking has got sand in it, although this gun is a piece of junk. But the idea is get some caulking in any cracks you have anywhere on your house, because if you get some caulking on those cracks, that will stop the rain from coming in. And we've had like, 3 months of solid rain. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to push this caulking way in there. get it way in there, guys. If I had my trowel, it'd be even easier. And because this caulking here has got sand in it, it matches any exterior stucco finish. That's right, you're paying for a lot of sand. It's an acrylic latex, so you can play with it. You don't have to worry about it being like, say, Sikaflex. You can't mess with that stuff, but it's strong. Then you take a green sponge float. You want to bring that sand out, bring the aggregate out. Just hit it with this. That'll bring the sand out. That'll match it until you guys can wait until spring and paint the whole house, guys. Most painters already know this. You just put a little bit of caulking with sand in it. It matches any stucco finish. And Moreflex is what I'm using, but there are all kinds of caulkings with sand in it. Anyway, if you keep your cracks caulked, guys, that won't allow any moisture to get through those cracks. If it gets through the moisture, what does it do, guys? It gets the insulation wet. Then it could wet the sheetrock, and you can peel the paint inside. All they had was peeling paint, so they caught it way early. Peeling paint is not a big deal. But anyhow, this is what you do. I'm going to leave it alone, guys, because Lou's whining and he wants to go home. Anyway, my name is Kirk. Jason's on the camera. We thank you guys for watching, and as usual, we'll see you on the next one.
All right, folks, as always, we thank you all for watching. We really enjoy your questions and comments. If there's anything you want to learn about, please let us know in the comments. And as always, from the entire Giordano family,
We'll see you on the next one.
Nailed it.